This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light.
Something doesn't compute there. I'm sorry, it's just a little bit odd. It wasn't an April Fool's joke, though. It is Bud Light's new influencer campaign featuring transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney. I don't think she probably ever tasted Bud Light before this, John. I think it's a paycheck, in my opinion. But you see it right there. Folks, you can go out and get one today. It is on sale. The promotion comes around the same time as the White House also promoted their Trans Day of Visibility last week.
It is shameful. It is disturbing. And our hearts go out to the trans community as they are under attack right now. But this is a
Wow. She wasn't the only one to paint that narrative following the Nashville school shooting. Take a listen.
In states across our country, the trans community is under attack.
At a moment when trans Americans are under direct attack in states across our nation and in this body, I'm here today to honor and celebrate each of these courageous, inspiring human beings just trying to live and be treated with dignity and respect. I'm here.
Under attack. You hear that echoed throughout. Does Dylan Mulvaney look like she's under attack or he's under attack? Just in the past year, Mulvaney has already closed endorsement deals with Ulta Beauty, Crest, Kate Spade, and KitchenAid, among others. And now, of course, there's Bud Light. Being attacked, Bianca, has never been so profitable.
I guess not.
Let's welcome in Brianna Lyman. She's a reporter for the Daily Caller. Also with us, Ari Hoffman, radio host and West Coast editor of the Post Millennial. All right, Bud Light fans out there waking up wondering what's going on. Ari, there's literally never been a better time to be a trans activist, and Dylan Mulvaney is an example of that. Now, when it comes to being Christian or Jewish for that matter, not so great right now. Last November, Ari, in New York City alone, there was a 100% increase in hate crimes. 45 hate crimes motivated by anti-Semitism versus 20 in November of 2021, and it continues to this day. Yet we are called anti-Semites. You, Ari, have probably been called an anti-Semite for taking on George Soros for backing these prosecutors.
I'm an Orthodox Jew, and I've been called a white nationalist, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, and my family was killed in the Holocaust. So it's absolutely insane the things that people will say just to demonize people they don't agree with. Calling George Soros a left-leaning backer or something like that is not anti-Semitic. If they said something about his Jewish heritage, then that's anti-Semitic. But the left has to pivot away from that as fast as possible, because if you start looking into George Soros and who he funds, people realize this isn't a tinfoil hat conspiracy. Why is this guy funding so many things across our country that are making our country worse? Progressive prosecutors, why are they doing that? And meanwhile, nobody wants to look at these FBI hate crime statistics, where you look and you see that the Jews are the #1 target of hate crimes, and the people who are perpetuating these hate crimes are other minorities.
Where's your Bud Light can, Ari? Where's the Bud Light can for our Jewish friends? Brianna?
Well, if that character is going to look like that for David Mulvaney, I don't want it to look like that for me, so that's a hard pass. I mean, I identify as a guy, so I've never had a Bud Light before in my life.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't be surprised, though, sadly, because this has sort of been like a slow rollout for what we're seeing sort of exploding now. We found this, I mean, this caught my eye. This was Time Magazine, June 2014. So if we go back, we remember they've been planting this, the transgender tipping point, where they actually say it is the next civil rights movement. Wow. Brianna, and, you know, the Bud Light thing, as a woman, as the parent of a young girl, I just think it is... No one's buying this. Dylan Mulvaney's not drinking Bud Light. I mean, this is a paycheck. It was, I think, just a terrible move on so many levels here by the company. And, you know, there should be some backlash against her for just, you know, what about her saying she's just selling out to, you know, corporate America and greed? We won't hear that, though.
Yeah, that's a... You absolutely not. And here's the thing, you know, Bud Light, do they not know who their demographic is? Because I can tell you, the guys I know who drink Bud Light, you know, they certainly don't care about, you know, transgender activist issues. And you played a clip in the beginning from Corinne Jean-Pierre, where she talked about how the trans community is under attack. First of all, a Christian elementary school was under attack last week, not the trans community. But more importantly, if we're looking at the scope of, you know, International Women's History Month, right? Real women are under attack, right? We're being erased and turned into a mockery by men who have a mental illness, who dress up, put makeup on, grow their hair out long, and say, I'm a woman. We have been reduced down to nothing but appearances. And that's certainly not what women are. Bianca, you obviously know this. And unfortunately, you have these companies who are perpetuating that narrative.
Yeah, you know, somebody...
And she's rose to fame very quickly. It's very odd.
Somebody referred to this as a beverage pretending to be a beer. It is now sponsored by a man pretending to be a woman in Bud Light.
Oh, interesting.
But this was, Ari, this was the natural course of action when Anheuser-Busch sold out to a multinational corporation. It really stopped representing American values. It's weird to see the Clydesdales now because, you know, next thing, the Clydesdales are going to have, like, you know, rainbow-colored manes and tails sooner or later. It's like,
well, if you look at this, I mean, Bud Light just made themselves Zima, don't you think? I mean, anybody remember what Zima is anymore?
Yes.
I think that's offensive to Zima, quite frankly.
I know.
Well, I guess Zima now identifies as a Bud Light. But I mean, this is the kind of thing, these corporations don't have to weigh in on every single social justice crusade. They don't have to weigh in on politics. Why can't they just make beer? Why do they have to weigh in on anything? Because they're worried about getting canceled? I'm very curious to see how much money Bud Light just cost themselves. Budweiser just cost themselves with this campaign. Because you know what? The people who go to football games are now no longer going to want to drink that beer because of all this insanity.
But what about when you go to a stadium, you don't have a choice? It's like Bud Light or nothing, you know? You just don't drink.
Nothing.
You just get a water.
Maybe Zima. Maybe you bring Zima back.
Maybe you have to bring. Maybe it's like college. We have to start bringing our own stuff in again, secretly, of course. All right, Ari.
Do tell, John. Oh wait, maybe during the break.
That's for John Bachman later.
Exactly. We're working on that.
All right, Brianna, Ari, great to see you both.
Thanks, guys. Great discussion.